Hello and welcome to Wednesday Word. My name's Sarah and I've been a member of Aldridge Parish Church for just about as long as I can remember. Recently I did come back from doing a church plant at St Peter's, so I was there for about 5 years, so for some of you my face might seem a little bit unfamiliar. I'm basing my Wednesday Word around Ecclesiastes 3 verses 1 to 8. There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to tear down and a time to build, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to scatter stones and a time to gather them, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to search and a time to give up, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to mend, a time to be silent and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace. So I just wanted to bring some of my own sort of personal reflections, really using those verses from over the last year or so. There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. Time is something that we all live our lives by. Sometimes we want it to slow down, sometimes speed up, and sometimes we wish it would stand still. We've all found ourselves in the last year or so in a season that we were unprepared for. A season where time has become measured in lockdown weeks. A season where much activity has stopped and we've had to find new ways of being. A time to be born and a time to die. In this season, babies have still been born. We have also lost people. This has not changed. The way we welcome these new lives and say goodbye to those lost has changed. People have viewed new family members through windows or on a Zoom call and not been able to hold that precious new life. For others, time here has stopped and they've entered a new season. For some, sadly, this old season has ended without loved ones by their side. A time to plant and a time to uproot. For so many, this season has stopped them in their tracks. Plans to travel, to move, to visit relatives, to start university, have all had to be put on pause, sometimes being temporarily unpaused, but then to be paused again. We've had to plant where we are and to appreciate the goodness around us and take joy from the little things. A time to weep and a time to laugh. I don't imagine many of us have got through this last year with dry eyes. I know I certainly haven't. But we can also smile. Even in my darkest time of this last year, there have been precious times of laughter. A time to mourn and a time to dance. Grief hasn't changed, but the way we mourn and the way we support others has. We have found ourselves in times when we cannot sit by those who mourn, we cannot share a drink with them, nor can we hug them. But we have learnt that support can still be given. We can still walk and talk. We can line the streets and be with those on their final journeys and support their families. We can still love, albeit from a distance. And then comes that promise. There will come a time to dance. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. A simple hug, something we have not been able to freely give or receive. Stepping back, an elbow tap, a wave has become the new normal. For the non-huggers, this has probably been a blessing. Back in early November, I was walking with a friend when I got a call that would change my world. In the middle of a field, my friend hugged me. There is a time to embrace. A time to tear and a time to mend. This line near the end of the passage gives us hope. There is times when we tear, when our lives become broken and they can seem beyond repair. But there is the promise that we will mend. So as we return to some sort of normality, let us take time to reflect on what we have learnt through this last season. Thank you.